20.4. $39.3. $20.5. $90.7. $13.8. $21.3.
Hey guys, this is Adam with PBR Hobbies. I did a little bit of crawling with the new ECX Barrage. I guess it's really not that new. It's been out about 6 months. We finally were able to get some on the shelf, and we've been playing with them a little bit. I did kind of a first overview video not too long ago, and I told you guys I'd get some running video of it in its bone stock form. This one, on the other hand, is not stock. We'll go over that in a couple future videos. I've got a lot of stuff going on with it. I'm working on trying to get a different body mounted on it. But that's for a later video. We'll go back to what this video is about, and that's how it ran in its stock form. So I built a little crawler course. You guys can see that in the video of it running. And it's not terrible, but it's not great either, as far as the truck goes. I guess I should clarify that. The course is still a work in progress. I got a lot more to add. I got to find a permanent place for it and then recover it. But back to the truck. It's a little over-geared, I feel. It's not quite peppy enough. You can get it bound up quite easily. And then it just doesn't have the power to pull itself out. Steering, the servo seems to work pretty good. I'm still running the stock servo on this for right now. I haven't quite found a good replacement. A couple guys are running high-techs and whatnot, but the stock servo isn't too bad. It had plenty of power for the size of the truck. The battery life was okay. I didn't really run it all the way down. I was guessing I got about 10 minutes out of it, 10-15 minutes. The stock chargers that they come with, we've been having quite a few issues with them. Not charging all the way or not charging at all. Haven't had any problems with them overcharging. It's mostly that they just don't want to charge the battery. So I've made a couple of little adapters to charge them off of our standard, most guys that are going to have these, I can't say most, but probably about 50% of the guys that are going to buy these already have other cars. And so I guess the charger not working is not a super big deal, but there's going to be, that handful of people that this is their first intro into RC, and I think they'll be a little bit let down by the charger. Aside from that, I found that the springs in the stock configuration, they're a little bit stiff, and they make it sit too high. They make it sit quite a bit higher. And it tended to not want to side hill very well. So I've made some changes there, and we'll go over that in another video. But so far so good. The stock tires weren't terrible. They seemed to grip the rock okay. Gripped it good enough to let the car roll over backwards if you're on a steep enough incline. It is a little rearward weight biased, so there's not enough. I feel there's not enough weight in the front to help keep the nose down on steep inclines. If you're trying to back down a steep incline and you, for whatever reason, decide you need to stop, it'll want to lift the front wheels up off the ground. As far as the suspension geometry goes, it felt pretty stable, aside from obviously being a little top heavy and underpowered. But it wasn't bad. The suspension geometry, it doesn't allow it to flex as much on one side as it does the other, and it's kind of you can see right here where the steering link, it's a 4-link with a chassis mounted servo, and the steering link actually contacts the chassis before the shock even comes close to bottoming out. You can see on this side it gets up in there pretty far. So that was kind of a limitation as far as crawling. You kind of had to pick your lines a little bit differently because of it. But there's a lot of potential here. I've done some serious modifications. I didn't get all of it on video, like making my ESC and receiver package here, but we'll go over that with a little bit more detail in another video. And but yeah, the overall feel of the truck, the biggest thing that I found was that it was definitely underpowered or overgeared. With my changes, I haven't changed the motor yet or anything to do with the transmission other than the pinion gear. And like we'll go over that again later. But it actually does a lot better now. So the changes were pretty simple, and you can do a lot of them fairly inexpensively, other than maybe doing the ESC that I did. But I think that was its biggest letdown, is it being either overgeared or underpowered. And those are kind of my final after run thoughts. We'll go over some more detail and the changes I've made and what batteries I'm running now and things like that. So anyways, stay tuned guys, and we'll have some more updates to come.